Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Angie.
And together, we are TwinFinity.
We are twin flames back with a new video in what we decided to make a whole series. We're going to call it the 11s because, well, 11s, twin flames. It's fun. Why not? So if you haven't seen the first one, we'll link it above just so you can watch it.
So today's title is 11 Ways to Connect or Reconnect with Yourself and thus your twin flame.
Yes. So you might notice on this journey, it's easy to get disconnected from yourself, either because you're feeling too much and you don't want to, or maybe you're feeling too much of your twin flame and you don't want to feel them because, of course, you're connected to them. So first thing you want to do is determine what it is that's causing you to either want to feel disconnected or to be disconnected. And then once you know why you're feeling disconnected, then you can move forward to get disconnected or to get reconnected.
Sometimes this determination, though, requires a little bit of self-honesty. You can kind of look all around you and say, oh, this is affecting me or that's affecting me. But sometimes, you have to look in the mirror to find out really what has caused you to be disconnected. Sometimes it could be your own thoughts and your own actions that have created a situation where there's a bit of distance. But to reconnect with yourself, sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and then go from there.
Yes, yes. And of course, remember, we're always connected with our twin flame. So all of these tips we're going to be giving you are not only going to help you connect with yourself, but of course connect with them, because the more connected you are to yourself, the more connected you are to your other person, because you are connected on a soul level.
Very much so.
Yes.
Point number 2, breathe. Deep inhalations create connection with the body and soul. They call it inspiration and expiration for a reason.
Yes.
When you breathe in what's around you, and it can be very inspiring as opposed to being just very flat and just not being very inspired.
And as humans, we tend to not use our full lung capacity, and we really shallow breathe. And then that really keeps us disconnected from ourselves. But when we deep breathe and take full deep breaths all the way to the bottom of our lungs, it really helps bring not only the air into the body, but spiritual connection into the body, much like Rob was saying, inspiration.
We often get inspired to do these videos out in nature because generally we have to work hard and breathe a lot to get to where we're making these videos.
Yes.
By the time we get here, we've had lots of chances to feel and be in nature and think and put it all together and put together a video. It's very inspiring out here.
Yes, it is.
Third one, since we just talked about it, nature.
Yes. So in nature, I'm going to read my notes because I channel when I write. I don't channel so much when I speak. So I wrote this out and I said, connecting with nature's high vibrations, which if you look around us, there's high vibrations. In fact, if you look behind us, there is a twin tree. How perfect for a video about twin flames. So there's lots of high vibrations out in nature, and that will help you reconnect to your highest self. Often when we get disconnected, it's because we're not connected with the fullness of who we are, our soul self, our higher self. And being out in nature, what better way? Because we're connected to nature as well. We're connected to the plants, the trees, the air, the grass, the snow.
The snow.
If you don't live in a place where there's snow, we'll share some of ours with you.
We seem to have a lot of it. So, and also, if you're in the city and you don't want to drive 50 miles to go out and find nature, most cities have parks where there's trails or along the edge of a riverbank. That's a great place to walk because then you can also hear the water burbling by, and water is a great healer.
Yes.
Very, very
much. Especially
so.
for us empath people, we love our water.
Okay, so point number 4, focus. Do one thing at a time. A lot of times we get disconnected from ourselves because we take on a lot of stuff and we try to get it all done in one day.
Yeah.
Who hasn't started out on a Saturday morning with a list of 19 things to do? and then you get started into it, and you break away from one thing to maybe work on another because you just came across that, and then in the end you end up scattered all over the place and frustrated. But yet, if you'd only got halfway through your list, but done one thing at a time to completion, you'd have a bunch of things done, and you could look back and enjoy your day better. And oftentimes, when you're doing one thing at a time, it doesn't require complete attention, so you get to rest while you do your chores.
Oh, that's insightful.
As opposed to trying to do 2 or 3 things at the same time and you're bouncing back and forth. I know people who can't even fry an egg and multitask at the same time, but we won't get into that story.
Are you going to point fingers while you're at it?
No, I'm not.
I often wreck my egg. Lucky for Rob, I don't cook eggs for him, but when I cook my egg, if I walk away from the stove even for like 2 minutes, my egg is ruined.
Overcooked.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Number 5.
I gotta get past
music.
get past number 4 in a hurry before I dig myself a deeper hole here.
Yes, because I'm the multitasker. Number 5 is music. Of course, music is the language of the soul. So, music works for anybody, no matter what language you speak, no matter who you are, and we can all connect through music. And often music is also a way to connect with our twin flames, right? A lot of people experience telepathy through music with their twin flame. They'll just hear a song in their head that they've never even heard before. They'll go look up the lyrics and it's like, wow, that totally came from my twin flame. They are speaking to me. So music is a great way to connect to yourself and also, of course, your twin flame. And also it helps you get in tune. So that's my fun little pun for the day. It's the best I can do. I'm not Rob.
She did very well on that. And also, when it comes to being inspired, hey, many people, when they're working out and needing to stay more focused on what they're doing, I'm linking this all together. They will plug into music.
Yes.
Have music on the go, and that helps them get through those minutes and keeps them going and moving.
Not only is it the language of the soul, but it feeds the soul, because song brings out so many emotions in us, right? So a great way to connect is to feel. That's often why we've disconnected, is because we're not wanting to feel something.
And also music can help break that dwelling that we get on some topics. We get it grinding through our minds, grind. Put on some music. Let the music distract you away from it. Let your blood pressure go down. Get a little bit of rest back in your mind again. Break away from what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Music is a fantastic distraction.
Yeah.
Puzzles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to let Angie talk about puzzles.
Yes. I love doing puzzles because I find them very therapeutic. As you're building a puzzle and putting pieces together, on an image, you're also putting pieces together inwardly too, because as you're doing a puzzle, you're having to search and look, and it's helping you search and look inwards as well. And each time you put a piece together, you might get internal aha moments as well. So it's very therapeutic, but it's very good way to connect to the self.
Building a puzzle is also a teacher. Teaches a little bit of that patience, because sometimes you're looking for one or two. There it comes out every time. You're building a puzzle. Sometimes you have to spend 2 or 3 minutes looking for one piece. Sometimes you even give up and look for a different piece because you can't find the very one that's right in front of your nose. But it does teach patience. Puzzles are a teacher, very much a teacher.
Yes. It's all about connection, right? You're building connection with each piece, and each time you get a piece, you connect more to yourself in a whole different way. It's fun.
Point number 7, observe. I love observing. I sit back and I observe lots, especially when I'm in crowds of people. I learn so much by learning how other people are communicating between each other and how they do it and what they're talking about. There is just so much to be learned by observing. But that's watching other people. Sometimes you can watch yourself.
Yeah, so now I got to look at what I wrote again. Oh, yeah, so I said take time to observe yourself and your environment and your twin flame. So it's not only just observing yourself, but you can observe your twin flame. Even if you're not connected, You can observe them through inner connection, through meditation, through telepathy, or just through interaction of how they interact with other people. You might still have a connection with them on social media if you're lucky enough to have not been blocked or not been ghosted, And if you are, that's okay too. That's sometimes part of the path.
Also observing, just an example of observing. Uh, I'd say in the time 1 to 5 years before I met Angie, I bought dark items. I had a black
Oh,
couch,
yes, you
I
did.
had black pictures, I had dark gray furniture, everything that I had,
Your
almost
big
everything.
black clock even
My
that we
big
still
black
have.
clock that I still have. Yes, it was dark, dark, dark. Now I still have dark. See, dark, 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 a little bit of dark, but I've added color to my life. I've raised my vibration through color. So looking back at myself, yes, I had put myself in a situation where I was very stable, but not very growthful because I had surrounded myself with lower vibration, darker energy.
I have to point it out, it's 11:11. Sorry.
Okay.
It was 11:11 in the video.
Okay.
I had to say it because I saw it.
So that's one way by observing yourself, you can take a look at the environment that you've put around you and what it could possibly be doing. Number 8, slow down.
That one kind of says a lot right there, but yeah.
That in some way does link back to the trying not to do too much one that we talked about a while ago.
Focus.
But yeah, being realistic, when you set goals, they talk about this in business management. Set goals that have, well, one of the major keys is achievable. Don't go into that Saturday. I'm using Saturday again. Don't go into that Saturday with 17 things on a list to do that are going to take 32 hours to do because Saturday is not that long. You're going to set yourself up for some form of failure.
Yep.
Choose the top 6. Plug away at them. Enjoy the chores.
Yeah. And with that is being present, right? Being in the moment. Often we say we are a human being, not a human doing. And, we often as humans forget that because we are conditioned to go, 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 do, accomplish, accomplish. But yeah, when you can just be present, be in the moment, that can certainly help you reconnect to yourself.
Number 9, creativity. You can talk about creativity.
Okay. So there's many ways to be creative, whatever works for you. Everybody's different. You can write, you can sing, you can dance, you can journal. Rob's been doing a lot of journaling lately, which is just him bringing out his creative side. And highly recommend journaling, but I know it's not for everybody. It depends what you resonate with. But just anything that brings out some enjoyment, some passion, some excitement will help you connect to yourself on a deeper level.
I've noticed that when people are not connected with themselves, it's because they have lost track of themselves and where they are at. Oftentimes people have avenues of creativity that they've worked on. For example, hobbies. Just choose the word hobbies. And they have stopped doing them. They're in some form of panic mode where they're bouncing from this and that and the next thing and trying to look after maybe some real life issues, or maybe they're putting a ton of energy into relationship, well, I don't want to say struggles, but I will anyway.
Could be
Relationship
struggles.
And they've stopped nurturing themselves through hobbies and things that they enjoy that they've just got away from.
Yeah.
Take a little bit of time,
totally.
go back to it. Those hobbies and those creative bits were part of the foundation that got you to where you were in the past. And you did them because they filled a portion of your soul. They looked after bits and pieces that you just couldn't rationalize.
Yes.
So go back to hobbies that you have. Be creative in whatever that hobby was.
Yeah.
Number 10, nurture. A little story to tell about nurture. I'm not terribly sure if it applies here, but when I'm feeling down or a little bit lacking energy, I give what I want. I tend to nurture Angie a lot, when in actuality what I'm really looking for is nurturing back. But as long as somebody's nurturing, somebody's happy, I guess, in my world.
That's the joy of twin flames, right? You're connected. So if you're going to give it to someone else, you're going to get it back somehow, some way, which is, I mean, we're laughing about it, but it's the truth, which is why we're talking about, you know, if you want to connect to your twin flame, connect to yourself, because it is cyclical. So the more you do for you, you do for another, and vice versa. The more you do for the other, you're going to do for yourself in the end.
Now, if you don't have anybody else to nurture with, you know, take a long shower, hot bath, buy flowers, go out with friends. Yeah, I can go out with friends. Spend some time communicating and finding out that the world hasn't fallen apart all around you with your friends too. Or if it has, well, then you got someone to commiserate with. Go to a movie. That's another good one.
Yeah, all sorts of different ways to nurture yourself. And I'm sure you have many more ideas too.
Number 11.
Number 11 is my favorite one, which is why we put it as number 11, because it's an exciting one. Is soul retrieval or regression therapy. So often when we feel disconnected, it's because either we're disconnected from our soul, or our soul might be fragmented because we've had other lives, we've been in other dimensions, other places, other times. So when you can call back all of your energy, the fullness of who you are, and bring it into the now, that's a wonderful way to reconnect with the self. And what I also love, I mean, I share a lot about regression therapy because it's been very helpful on my journey, is just the whole idea of remembering who you really are. When we remember our big soul self, rather than just this body, this life, this person that we are right now, when we remember the fullness, the true essence of our soul, the different lives we've lived, the different planets we may have been on, the other incarnations we've had, what a great way to reconnect with yourself on a deep, deep level. Very powerful.
I have no further comment on
Oh, I
regards.
thought you would, because you've experienced it too.
Well,
Remember when you had your
yes.
regression? That was powerful.
Yes, I have. And I have to admit that I think back to it often. And I think it's probably going to take me another couple of years to still work my way through it. It's been over a half a year since my regression, and I have not rewatched the video that was made of it. And I think it's about time that I did. Not for reasons that I'm feeling down and out or anything, but I think after this amount of time of having processed it the first time, I can go back and have a look and listen at it again. Look and listen.
Yeah, look and listen.
And probably learn a bunch more.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So I would have never thought that would have been for me a year ago, and now I'm glad that I've done it, and I would do it again. It's amazing what drifts out when you're in a semi-hypnotic state.
Totally. So that's our 11 ways to connect or reconnect with yourself, and of course that's your twin flame. And before we go, we forgot in the beginning to tell them where we are, and I thought that would be fun to do, especially since we've had people walking by. I don't know if you saw people or heard them.
Yeah, there were some people that went by in the background. We are out in the Kananaskis area, southwest of Calgary. We're a 2-hour drive from home. Yes, we're buried in the middle of a forest, one of those nurturing places. And there's a lot of cross-country ski trails out here.
Yeah.
There's probably 60 to 80 miles of them when you string them all together. This area was logged out about 40 years ago, and all the old trails are now used for recreational purposes. And we're on snowshoes today, but there is lots of people out here, and the parking lot is at least half full,
Yes.
which is a lot for during winter. A lot of people hide at home in winter. So, yeah, we're at the Shark Mountain. Yeah, I don't know why they call it Shark Mountain. I don't think there's any sharks out here. But there may have been in prehistoric times. Maybe they found a fossilized shark. I don't know why they call it Shark Mountain. But we're at the Shark Mountain recreational area.
And it's not a sunny day, but I'm wearing my sunglasses, even though that's kind of rude to do in a video. But I'm wearing them because it's snowing, and I keep getting snow on my eyelashes, and it's really hard to blink away. So sorry for wearing sunglasses in a video, but
I've got glasses that self-tint, and there is still lots of ultraviolet radiation even on a cloudy day, especially when it's reflecting off the snow off the ground.
Oh, that's true.
So sunglasses are still a good idea. There is something called snow blindness, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen on a sunny, bright day where you're getting lots of reflection off the snow.
That's very true.
So sunglasses it is.
Yes. And now on that note, it's getting chilly again. You can see my nose is getting red. That means it's time to get moving again.
All right. Thank you very much.
We love you guys. We'll be back with another 11 video next month.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.